Storage account in Azure is a method of creating a storage service for storing data in it. It contains all Azure storage objects organized into a single resource group and provides a unique namespace for managing and accessing storage functions. Storage account is durable, highly available, and scalable. By using Azure Storage Account services, you don't need to worry about space because it will be scaled upon on demand. The Azure Storage Account is a container that groups a set of Azure Storage services together. Only data services from Azure Storage can be included in a storage account. In this video, we will walk you through how to create a storage account in Microsoft Azure, explain the different types of storage accounts, and provide tips on how to choose the right storage account for your needs. Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. I'm Manhar and welcome back to MSFT WebCast. Azure Storage provides different types of storage accounts. Each type supports unique features and has its pricing model. Consider these differences before creating a storage account to work out the best account for the applications. There are 4 storage types to choose from: Blob Storage or Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, Azure Files, Tables, and Queues. Choosing a preferred storage type does not limit you from using any other services inside the storage account. First, we need to log into the Azure Portal. Open your preferred web browser, navigate to portal.azure.com and sign in with your Azure account. In the search bar at the top of the portal, type Storage. Under Services, select Storage Accounts. To create a new storage account, click on Create. Under the Basics tab, you'll find the required settings for the storage account. Under the Subscription drop-down, select the subscription in which you want to create the storage account. Most of you will have only one subscription, so you won't need to choose anything here. Select the resource group in which you want to create the storage account, or click the Create New link to create a new resource group in which to add the storage account. Click on Create New and then enter the name of the resource group. Click on OK. In the storage account name field, enter a unique name for the storage account. It must be between 3 and 24 characters long and contain only lowercase letters and numbers. In this example, I have given name MSFT Storage Account 001. Select an Azure region in which to create the storage account. Consider the location of the users and services accessing the data to minimize latency. Next, we need to choose the preferred storage type for the storage account. Click on drop-down menu. Azure Storage includes Azure Blob Storage, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, Azure Files, and Azure Tables and Queues. The cost of your storage account depends on the usage and the options you choose. Keep in mind that choosing a preferred storage type does not limit your ability to use other services within the storage account. We will choose the Azure Files option as we plan to create and store Azure Files in the storage account later. Under the Performance section, select Premium if you require high-speed data access. Note that this will incur additional cost. Select Standard if low latency is not a priority. Standard is typically sufficient for most use cases. Now choose the file share billing. Pay as you go is a usage-based billing model where the cost is determined by how much you use the file share, including storage transaction and data transfer cost. Provision V2 is a billing model that allows you to separately provision storage, IOPS, and throughput. You pay based on what you provision, regardless of actual usage. Microsoft recommends that we use Provision V2 model for all new Azure file deployments. For our test lab, we'll use Pay-as-you-go file shares. Select the type of redundancy you would like for this service. Although all Azure Storage accounts create multiple copies of your data, you can decide where the data is stored in the same data center or in a different region. The options are listed in ascending order of protection and cost with a description below each option. Keep in mind that not all redundancy options are available for all types of storage accounts in all regions. For non-critical data, locally redundant storage is sufficient. Click Next to continue. There's no need to change anything on this tab but it allows you to configure additional security for the account. Select the scope of storage accounts from which data can be copied to the new account. The default option from any storage account allows users with appropriate permissions to copy data from any storage account. From storage accounts in the same Microsoft Entra tenant restricts copy operations to storage accounts within the same Microsoft Entra tenant. The third option limits copy operations to storage accounts with private endpoints on the same virtual network. We'll go with the default option. Data stored in the cloud grows at an exponential rate. To manage cost, as your storage needs expand, it's helpful to organize your data based on how frequently it will be accessed and how long it will be retained. Azure Storage offers different access tiers, allowing you to store your blob data in the most effective manner based on its usage. Access tiers help you choose between hot, cool, and cold tiers. Select the hot tier for frequently accessed data and the cool tier for infrequently accessed data. In this example, we will select hot tier. Click Next to continue. The Networking tab allows you to restrict access to the storage account to specific networks and configure private endpoints. These settings can also be modified after the storage account is created. We will cover these settings in the Networking module. Click Next to continue. The Data Protection tab allows you to configure the storage account to protect your data from accidental or erroneous deletion. By default, soft delete is enabled for blobs, containers, and file shares. The default setting is configured to retain deleted data for 7 days before it is permanently deleted. Make the necessary changes as required. Go to Encryption tab. The Encryption tab allows you to configure what data is encrypted and how it is encrypted. By default, data in the storage account is encrypted using Microsoft Managed Key. You can either rely on Microsoft Managed Keys for encryption or manage it with your own keys. By default, customer managed keys can be used to encrypt only blobs and files. To enable support for customer managed keys across all services, set this option to all service types. You are not required to use customer managed keys if you select this option. Go to Tags. Enter the tag name and its associated value for this resource, which you can use to filter or sort your reports. Click on Review plus Create. Azure validates the storage account settings you have selected. If validation passes, you can proceed with creating the storage account. If validation fails, the portal will indicate which settings need to be modified. When you are ready, click Create to start creating the storage account. The deployment process will take some time to complete. Wait for the notification message to appear. When the deployment is complete, click on Go to Resource. We have successfully created the storage account in Azure. We'll be on the Overview tab of the newly created storage account. This is how you can create a storage account in Azure using the Azure Portal. In the next video, we will learn how to create an Azure file share and store it in the storage account using the Azure Portal. That's all for this video. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on Microsoft Azure and other Microsoft related topics. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.